For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Sending you guys a bit of a review video on a product from Outwell. This here is the Outwell Parkdale 6PA and the 4PA as well. So the Parkdale's been a model that's been around for a few years now and sort of goes into the 2021 season with a few updates, not to mention first and foremost the colour change. So for me, it's almost gone back to a very classical Outwell green from that sort of tealish blue from last year. And for me, I think it sort of looks smarter, looks definitely a bit more premium now. And there's a few updates as well to mention. So not only has it kind of increased in terms of, I think, from appearance wise, but also in terms of features and nitty gritty stuff they've got inside of it, there's also a bit more of a better benefit as well, I'd say. So the Parkdale essentially is a free zone tent. You've got sleeping, living, and then obviously a very generous sort of front awning area. You've got a closed front door as well to get the maximum amount of sort of space there as well. You've got this beautiful big crystal clear windows, and they're slightly tinted as well, so you've got a level of privacy without having to use the curtains every single time. Admittedly, you have got sort of zip-up curtains as well to get a level of privacy, which you don't often see, certainly from a zip point of view, on this sort of style. It can be pitched very quick and easily from one person on their own. I've pitched this on model on my own best part of about sort of 10 minutes, pegged out, pumped out the works, ready to go camping in. So it means you can take it away for a weekend, let alone also a week. Each beam's done individually, so it's just done from a little point here, and it's got a nice big oversized valve with Outwell's kind of rigid air system, so it's a really nice strong tube. One of the updates for 2021 is that the front beam's actually bigger in size now, and to fair, the back beam is a little bit as well. Basically, the things where the most strain goes through a tent is sort of the front and back, so they've kind of increased it just to give it a bit more sort of stability as and when. You've still got things like storm straps as well to get that sort of really nice tight and rigid roof, as well as high visibility guy lines as well. A big side mesh door gives plenty of airflow in, and all the features I'm talking about now is the same for the 4 and the 6. It's just down to sort of the sizes in between the models. Personally, I think for me the 6 is definitely the more popular model to go for smaller families, or if you want just a couple's tent that's big enough. Whereas the 4, again, I think it's definitely definitely a snug 4. So for, again, small families, but really small families, and then also sort of couple tents really as well. One other new thing for a difference is the way they've changed the roof pattern. So the roof pattern, you've got this really nice embossed fabric. So it's a great sort of about 70D, about 4,000mm hydrostatic head, but a slight colour change above the bedroom section means there's now a darker shade inside. And they've actually used the same inner bedrooms, but it seems an awful lot darker now. They've sort of used a darker material on the roof, and we'll come on to that in just one moment. The front door, as previously has always been, you've got the flexibility, you kind of completely open it up, so it can be opened up sort of halfway or sort of fully open, and there's a secondary zip located just here, so you can kind of create that little veranda kind of effect. They have stripped away, actually, to be fair, the mesh door that's on the front part here, so there's no sort of front mesh door now. The mesh door moves back into sort of the main kind of sort of living area between that section. So not only can you kind of give you that sort of nice veranda kind of style, but what we do is we pull the door back a bit. So we can bring it back halfway. We then got almost like a perfect sort of wet kind of area, and there's a ground sheet applied with the sort of front awning that actually sort of rises up and gives it almost like a bathtub kind of feel. So it feels like a sewn-in ground sheet, but you've got the flexibility of having it removed as and when you need to. So for a day when the weather is absolutely horrid, what you can always do is kind of unpeg it, kind of almost roll that completely back. Do a bit of a rush fold, but so it's just rushly done. But as you can see, there was big, nice sort of, again, tinted windows in the front. So what that allows you to do as well is there's actually still privacy curtains behind there. So like I say, when you want to get that complete enclosed front section, when you leave your kit and leave, go off site for a little bit, you can have peace of mind that no one can essentially see what you've got inside. But I'll tell you what, let's have a look on the inside and talk for a few more features. that the Parkdale has to offer. So now inside the Parkdale, you can kind of get a bit more idea for certainly the sort of front awning area. And actually, to be fair, one thing to sort of bear in mind is actually when you look at the floor dimensions, the front awning area is almost bigger than actually the main living area, which is quite nice because it sort of orientates itself to sort of that kind of cooking sort of scenario. And again, when you've got that kind of bathtub ground sheet, I mean, what you can always do is take the divisional door away and just maximise your internal living area. So it means at night you can sort of chop and change from being sort of more cooking based to more kind of living based and outside. So if it's a nice day for, again, what you can also do is, like I said, open it up, cook outside, maximise your internal living area. So the curtains, like I said, we talked about on the outside are sort of toggled up. So you've got two nice big windows on the side, again, toggle dividers. And what you find is actually they can toggle up to kind of either halfway or fully up to get that ultimate amount of privacy. So you can chop and change between that. The oversized front beam as well helps to give a bit more stability. And the internal headroom height here is actually very, very generous. You know, for somebody that's not essentially very wide, you've got tons of headroom in here, which is absolutely brilliant. The new kind of divisional door between the two sections actually now has this quick and quiet feature. So it's something they introduced in 2020. In the ability, it's almost magnets running down the central bit, and when you sort of means you can enter and exit through a door rather than to use a zip, hopefully making it a bit quieter so you can wake the kids up. So same kind of principle here. You can just open it up, pull them through, and then the door will shut behind you, as you can see. So it means that, especially when you've got that sort of mesh part there, you can be playing a game of cards in here, and you can quickly nip in and out, not allow the bugs to come in quickly, and so the door sort of shuts behind you quite nice and neatly. If you don't want to use that, there's a secondary zip located behind it, so you can actually just turn that function off in many ways, and then use it more like a conventional door. So you can sort of zip it up from this side across. So again, unzip that, and then roll it back that way. There are two zip runners on it, so in theory what you can also do is kind of open up one side, open up the other to create this kind of like safari kind of feel, and makes it sort of seem a bit more homely. Again, the joys of the Parkdale is that you can open up completely, so you can open up all the section to make it as that one big open living area like we talked about. And it just rolls back quite nice and neatly, and you toggle it back when you get there as well. A bit of a bundle at the bottom. And again, you can see you've got storage pockets built into here, so you can also declutter some of the awning living area quite nice and neatly. And then you've got not only for one side, built on the other. So that's also a great addition for the 2021 season. Living area wise, like I said, it's not necessarily the biggest, but you've still got room for a table and chairs, and here you can probably sit 4 people around, and you've got that sort of nice big mesh door on that one side. Still, you've got very Outwell-like features, so you've got the sort of hook track system, so it's almost like a beading there, which you can actually connect little clips onto, like almost like well, clothes pegs in many ways. That this basically creates your hanging point, so you can suddenly have a hanging point pretty much anywhere you want to. So either from that point there, you can put another one here, another one here, another one here, and you can sort of feed it down to sort of cable entry points. So you've got a cable entry point located on the right hand side, and also the front partition door out that main way, so you can actually accommodate mains hookup quite happily. To be fair, there's no reason why you couldn't even use the side door partially to feed a cable through there if you really, really wanted to. The back living scenario you've got, depending on whether it's the 4PA or the 6PA, it's divided up into kind of 2, 2 and a 2, or for the 4 it's obviously a 2 and a 2. Probably the 4 is a bit more generous in terms of what gives it per person. The 6 for me kind of is all more orientated to be created like a master bedroom in the middle and 2 separate bedrooms in there. So if you want to use this more as a full berth, you'd probably say, you know, adults in the middle section and then kids in the 2 sections there. So you can have a 2 in 1 kind of scenario. I think it's definitely more of a comfy 4 or a very comfy, more comfy 4 or a tightish sort of 5, if I'm being honest with you. You've got a really nice big ventilation panel, and again you've got a kind of quick, quiet feature built into the door itself, so you can sort of go in here, and that's where that sort of works better, I think, within the middle bedroom being the master bedroom, because the people who are most likely to use that sort of feature are going to be the parents when they come into bed and want to wake the kids up as they're asleep. Alternatively, they can still use that as a conventional door as well, so you can again just open that up But you've got a nice big ventilation panel there to kind of help sort of airflow. And again, if you want to allow a bit of light in for the kids, you can do that as well. So, bedroom on the side, you've still got storage pockets built into the front, and even things like a cable entry point into the main area, which you don't often see from this sort of level. You've got zip dividers between all the sections as well, so it zips along the sides, not necessarily on the bottom, but it still makes the appearance of kind of three separate bedrooms, and you've got a physical divider between each of them. You can also have the flexibility, you can sort of zip them up completely and have it as one big open bedroom, or create a 4 and a 2, 2 and a 4, however you want to kind of really do it. You've got this kind of a kind of shaped back to it. So you've got a very almost vertical back here, and that's the way the guy ropes help to pull it at the back. You've then got big nice storage pockets built into the middle, and then also storage pockets built into the side. So it means you put things like keys, torches, and that sort of stuff quite happily there and not have to worry about it in the middle of the night. You've also got a ventilation part at the back, and also a screen that you can sort of bring up and bring down. So it's sort of, as you look through here, it looks directly in through to the mesh. So it sort of allows, you know, a double amount of airflow if you really wanted to. You've got a hanging point here for a lantern, and you can always put a little bit of cord through that section. But so let's bring the camera in, just trying to get a bit more of a better feel about the Parkdale. So here we go. So, like I said, you can probably see a bit more about the sort of difference in terms of the sort of awning area versus the living area, but still you've got great sort of visibility around. So you've got really nice big open panels to have a great sort of look around the campsite to make sure you keep track of where the kids are. Also, you've got the hook track system in there, you can probably just see quite nice and neatly, and you've still got your Velcro, toggle up curtains to go quite nice and neatly, and a low level ventilation point beneath the window on the side, and to help with airflow and just give it around, and also sort of help with condensation. Again, really nice sort of big size beams. You can probably see a difference between, say, the two. You've got your main beam and then the awning beam, which is a bit just bigger diameter as well as with reinforcing straps located around there. The bedroom scenario, you can see it's quite dark in comparison to when you can compare sort of going from out to sort of in. You can probably appreciate a darker bedroom, and that's mainly down to sort of the roof design where it's a bit darker there as well. Still got the storage pockets built in down below, and a sort of lighter ground sheet doesn't make it still seem too dark. But definitely on terms of the sizing of the bedroom is a bit smaller than probably people are a bit more used to. So that's where it definitely lends itself to being more of a full berth, and you still got storage pockets located down the bottom on each side and into the main living area. As we kind of do a 360 around the actual tent itself, you can probably appreciate kind of the sheer sort of size in terms of the headroom height that you've got in here. Works really nicely. Obviously, a nice big vent beneath the window as we talked about previously. When you've got sort of the webbing storm straps all pegged out, again, you can get that roof looking really nice and pucker and taut. And then you've got this sort of back system with that whole new vent. So the vent itself can actually be toggled up, so you can actually toggle it up to there and keep it kind of at bay. So that way that it's always open, so you get like the maximum amount of ventilation, which is perfect for, you know, trying to reduce condensation, but more of just giving you a breeze through the tent on those kind of warmer days. But overall, it was a really popular model when it first launched in 2020, and kind of going forward, it's just to kind of carry on that theme. You know, the new colour, I think, only sort of helps it rather than hinders it, and you've still got a few more features. I'm a little bit gutted that we've kind of lost that kind of front mesh door. That was one of the features I truly really loved about it. But obviously you've kind of got that progression from going back into this middle point here, so I can understand it. And some of the extra features as well, the darker fields, darker bedrooms, the bigger beams, the you know, the obviously this hook track system, the paneling, you know, all these little things that, and the better pump, all these little things just kind of help to make it kind of that little bit better. So I think for me, you know, it's still a bit of a winner as it was. So when you compare it like for like, you know, not many have sort of two full-on front mesh dividers. I think it comes out really well. If you want more information on sort of the Parkdale as well as the package deals we do on these particular models, you can check the link below. It'll take you straight through. You can choose either the 4 or the 6PA. But overall, I think really nice model. And yet again, I think Outwell have done a good job with this particular one. So if you have, let us know what you think as well. We always love to hear from you guys and see how you feel, or how, if you've had a Parkdale previously and you think the new sort of additions are a bit of a benefit. It's always great to have some feedback. But yeah, that's kind of our little video review on the updated 2021 version of the Outwell Parkdale 4PA and also the 6PA, which I'm in now.